Hey, good morning, everybody. Good morning, Heather.
Good morning, John. I love Mondays now because this is like the second time we see each other. So for everyone watching, we actually see each other at 7 for a mastermind group call that we do. And then we are live at 8. Like, it's like the best way to start a Monday. I love Mondays, John. That's what I can tell you. Like, love
I'm
them.
with you. I'm with you 100%. And yeah, no, I love Mondays. How
I've
many of
already
you
done
can
my
say that?
meditation. I've already done my power pose. Like, let's
Put it in
tackle
the
the day.
chat. Put it in the chat. If you love Mondays, let us know. Let us know. Let us know in the chat that you love Mondays.
If
Yes.
Dakota's listening, he loves Mondays because that's his book title. So
Oh, he loves Monday. It's funny because Mondays, work in the corporate life. And listen, I'm not saying corporate life is bad for everybody, right? But work in the corporate life, like Mondays was like, it's Monday. Like just getting out of bed was a struggle, right? Like, and now it's like, Heather, to tell you the truth, I was up this morning at like 5:05 or 5:15. I'm like I jumped into the week, right? Like if there was a way to express, like I jumped into a week. So yeah, we're so happy Monday. So actually, some of the people listening might not know this, but you won an achievement this weekend.
I celebrated an achievement this weekend.
You
Yes.
celebrated an achievement. So let me tell everybody what this achievement was. It was the Empowered Woman of the Year with the IOATP. Did I get that right?
Yes. International
Okay.
of Top Professionals.
Yes,
International
excellent.
Association of Top Professionals.
And this achievement, this celebration was something that didn't happen yesterday. It didn't even happen last year. This is something that happened years ago that you said yes to. So let's learn a little bit more about this achievement, this celebration that you got this weekend, and help us understand how you got here.
Thank you, John. Thank you. It's funny, and I posted this on my LinkedIn. It's really hard sometimes to talk about our own achievements or even reflect on how did we get to a certain moment in our life. And in fact, that's one of the things that me and you both teach people is, reflect on the journey that got you to where you are today. And there's breadcrumbs for how you want to get to the next part of your journey, but we often don't spend that time reflecting. But I thought I'd put that little life lesson in because I'm a little bit uncomfortable talking about this, and that's okay because we coach to be uncomfortable or be comfortable being uncomfortable. So I got to be, John, this was so exciting. I got to go to Vegas this weekend
Nice.
for the gala for the International Association for Top Professionals. And let me tell you, it was at the Bellagio. So it was like over the top, beautiful. I got to put a ball gown on. Like, when do we get to wear ball gowns? Well, John, you don't wear a ball gown, but as a girl, this is cool stuff, right? And be there with celebrating so many top professionals. There was people, doctors, there was lawyers, there was people really dedicated to changing the lives of others in and using their skill set to the best of their ability. So back to your question around saying yes and using our abilities or our strengths in this world for the power of good to create the greatest net value. It goes right back to what you'll hear me talk about all the time. And it was a moment of my leadership skills and my leadership development and growth where I said to myself, what is my purpose? And as I reflected on that question and journaled about that question, and it was a time when I was really overwhelmed with, so many emails coming in, so many people needing me, and not feeling that I was on purpose for my life's work. And I made the decision that every day I would positively impact 5 people. That I made it simple, measurable. I can do this every day, so I'm not going to feel like, oh, today I failed because I didn't meet 5 people and I didn't positively impact 5 people. And that decision, it was life changing for me because 5 people became 10 people, became 20 people, became saying yes to things like let's go live with our coaching sessions. And so, if I come back full circle, that was probably 20 years ago that I made that decision. It has led me to saying yes to all kinds of other opportunities that also scared me a little bit. So this Empowered Women Award is is really, I give this award to the younger version of myself that said yes back then, and tell her, like, you go, girl, you were on the right track. You were so smart back then, and you're still so smart. But for making that decision, and I thank that version of me for making that decision, because it's led me on all kinds of paths. And empowered women, means that we are there to build others up as well, and that's
Mhm.
really my life's purpose. So to get an award, it's like cherry on the sundae. So it's and going to Vegas was actually the really big deal of it all.
Can imagine the heat in Vegas is always nice. It's always like
No,
there's
it
something
was
about
cold, John. It was 13
really.
degrees. It was
Oh
cold.
my
Yeah.
gosh. Okay, never mind. Never mind. I like Vegas because of the warmth. But yes, you're
Yeah.
right. It's December. But what showed up for me as you said that, yes, it's about empowering others. But I'm sure throughout this journey wasn't always easy, right? Like there were things that showed up for you that made you feel like, like, am I even doing the right thing? So in those moments, I'd be curious to understand, what did you do to get through them?
That's a really good question. I think so I talk about positively impacting 5 people a day, but in a moment, in this moment that's with you and me, John,
Mhm.
and yes, we've got people that are going to listen live and then they're going to listen to this afterwards. But imagine that my only goal was to create value for this conversation between me and you. And as a ripple effect of that one decision to impact one person, which isn't too overwhelming because I can have a natural conversation, and anyone else that's listening out there also may have a positive impact. And this is a sort of a mind hack that I use, especially when I'm doing a keynote speak or I'm in front of a couple hundred people. My goal is to just positively impact one person in that audience. And that sort of mind hack or that reframe really helps to calm the nerves, calm the ego, and decide that that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to positively impact one person. And sometimes that positive impact is on ourselves. That one
Mm,
person is ourselves because we've said yes to the scary shit. And we've stepped out of our comfort zone into a little bit of a scary situation, and we move forward anyways. So always just look at, in the moment, who can you positively impact? Who are you going to create value for? Who are you sharing your message for? And aim for that one person, because we can all impact one person in our life every single day.
yeah, no, I love that. I love that. It's so
John, you
simple.
do the same thing, but you have a little
Yeah.
bit of a different spin on it. So tell me your
Yeah.
spin.
No, yeah, no, 100%. And, good morning, Felicia. I know she jumped in. She loves Mondays now. That's all we need to know. So she loves Mondays. And she said, congrats. But the one thing, as you say that, and this is the part that never occurred to me, right? Like it kind of woke up something inside of me. My goal when I get up on stage is to impact one person. And Felicia, I know part of the Toastmasters world, you understand that when you get up on stage, it's not about you, it's about the people in front of you and how you can add value and really contribute to their lives in a really powerful way. But I never thought about impact it has on me. Like if I could just
Mm,
impact that one person and that person's me in a very positive way, like it just changes the trajectory of where I'm going in life, right?
mm,
So I'm like, wow, are you like, as you were saying, like impact one, like, so really, okay, I'm gonna change it now. I'm gonna impact two people, one in front of me, one inside of me, because those are the two people that need to be impacted the most on a daily. And,
mm,
as we learn, as we grow, as we listen to new things, as we go through new experiences, we are constantly impacting ourselves, right? Like that's the thing that's creating us to shift and be the people that we know that we are, right? Like if you hold on to an image of yourself. So actually I didn't tell you this, but I
Tell me,
got
tell
I
me.
got some I got some news. So I registered for my Ironman in 2023. I
Ooh,
know I'm putting it
okay.
out. I talked about it, in terms of what I was going to do for 2023, and I didn't have a date, but actually last week I actually committed to a date, And for all of you that are listening right now, you can hold me accountable to this. And I'm making I'm like,
Say it, say it, say it.
it's so the original event that I wanted to do was in Mont Tremblant in August, but I went back and the thing's full. Like there's no more spaces for Mont Tremblant in August. I'm like, okay, well, that's because I wanted something that was relatively local that I could drive to. Because if you're going to go through something like that, you want to be close, right? The only other, like, and I know the other event was in Muskoka, which is also somewhere July, August, but I heard it's a very tough event to do. And if you have another option, go do something else. So I'm like, okay, so where else can I go? So I was looking at the schedule and the events, and May 28th, which just happens to be my birthday, there's a half Ironman in Vancouver, which I've never been to. I know. So so for my birthday, which is not a milestone, next year is my milestone birthday, but for my birthday, I'm going to be in Vancouver doing a half Ironman.
I love, so there's a couple things that jump out at me. One, you hesitated in signing up and you lost out, but you actually used it to, because you could have just said, you know what, maybe I got to move this to 2024. You could have said that. That was a choice.
Mhm.
But instead, you actually moved the date earlier, not later. So you didn't give yourself more time to get ready. I know it's causing you a physical reaction as you think about this, but you also connected it to a milestone in your life. So, you will always remember on your birthday that you are an Ironman. So you look at how anybody watching the video, John just changed his body language. As I said that, he stood back, his shoulders went back, and he took a deep breath. This is really important visualization, a visual of what is going on in someone's head. And it's part of the training that both of us have in NLP. But that doesn't mean that we don't actually activate that body language. So John, as you took a deep breath, as your shoulders went back, as you visualized your next birthdays, for the rest of your life, being an Ironman on your birthday and every day of your life, what just went through your body right there?
Oh man, so it's a combination of different things, but nervousness on one side, excitement on the other, and it's like I'm bringing those two together, right? The nervousness, excited nervousness. So, and I'll tell you the truth, there's a part of this where I'm scared, right? I don't know if anybody understands. Actually, maybe I'll explain it because maybe people don't understand what an Ironman is. So it's a triathlon. Triathlon is swimming, biking, running. An Ironman or a half Ironman, they call it a 70.3. It's a 2 kilometer swim, 90K bike, and a 21K run. So all those events together, and you have 8.5 hours to complete them all, is what they call a half Ironman. So yeah, I've never done anything. I've done the bigger, I've done the marathons, which are 4 hours.
You've done the duration. Individual events of that, but now you're putting them all together.
All together. Yeah. So yeah, it's yeah.
Wow. May 28th. I love this.
May 28th. I know.
John, you talked about excitement and nervousness and how you want to integrate those two together. What's pretty neat, and tell me if this is showing up for you and anyone else that's ever felt nervous or excited at the same time. Notice that normally those two feelings reside in our belly. And they're kind of, you've heard the term, I've got butterflies, or, there's this sort of little feeling in your belly. And what's really cool about that is the feeling of excitement and the feeling of nervousness actually is the same feeling. Just notice that it's the butterflies and then there's a little bit nerves, but it's the meaning we put on the situation that then dictates how those feelings are. So John, as you're thinking about integrating them, just notice that they're exactly the same. And it's just the meaning you put on them. So as you feel those butterflies of nervousness, also be like, oh, those are excitement butterflies, and just let them flow through your whole body. And I talk about this. Some people that love roller coasters, they're like, yes, let's get on the roller coaster, and they have the excitement of those butterflies. And then people that are scared of roller coasters, They have that same feeling in their gut, but they put the meaning that this is scary for them.
Mm.
So we're going to integrate for you, John, that May 28th is not scary at all. It's actually super exciting. And that is the day that you become an Iron Man. Yes.
Woo-hoo. Yes. Yeah, no, yeah, no, it's amazing. So, I wondered, as you were saying that, when you rocked across that stage this weekend, what did you feel?
I actually felt really calm and really
Mm,
proud, and proud of the people that have already come into my life and helped shape the route that I took, and also the people that have, because of a ripple effect that was created, stepped into their greatness. But I also, at the same time, John, visualized the future people that are coming into my life and this
mm,
future people that are going to make a difference in this world, only because they're saying yes, and that I get to be vulnerable and show them how to say yes. So it's a it's a humble experience, and it's I'm excited and I feel it in my belly and I feel the nerves of like, what does that mean? How am I going to do all of that? But we got to let go of that how, right? We teach this. We got
mm.
to let go of the how and just let the flow happen. And the how will show up if we're clear on our intention. And my intention has never been clear in my entire life what my purpose is, which is to positively impact those around me in whatever way they need and whatever way I can give.
Yeah, no, I love that. I love that because, the one thing that resonated with me as you were saying that was just you living from a place of gratitude and actually
Mhm.
living in that, right? Like, as you were saying that and expressing gratitude to, to all the mentors, the people ahead of you and all the people behind you, like all the people that are coming after, like that's genuinely living from that place, right? And it's like, wow, how many of us actually do that? Like,
Mhm.
how many of us live in that place of gratitude where we, it becomes part of our being in terms of who we are? I know we talk about, you and I, we've talked about this quite a few times, living from a place of gratitude, having gratitude, but actually living in it, I think is something else altogether. And that's what I heard as you were saying that. It's like, wow, like it
It's
just,
so
it's so
true.
powerful.
And John, you're touching on another thing that's so important is, when we're worried about the how, we're living in the future. And that's where
Mm,
anxiety can come and sort of be gremlins in our head. But when we're living in gratitude, we're reflecting on where we are and we're being a lot more present. And that presence shows up as confidence, it shows up as love, it shows up as being there for other people. It shows up as curiosity for me and asking really good questions. So, when
mm.
we're present and not worried about the how, we can be much more of service than to everyone else. So that would be, I think, our call to action for today is, how can you be more present today? And then when you're more present, what shows up for you? And it's a great journaling question to also
Yeah.
focus on.
Yeah, no, I love it, and it's really simple. It's simple, but not easy to do, right? Like
No.
we get so lost in. You're right. We get so lost in the how. How are we going to do this today? How are we going to how? But the how doesn't matter if you're not clear in terms of where it is you want to be, right? And you're right. The one thing I learned, and actually I'll share this with everybody this week. I wasn't clear on when I was going to do what I needed to do for next year, signing up for the event and everything. But by doing that and committing to that, yes, it gave me clarity because now I'm like, okay, so what do I need to do now? Right.
Mm.
So it's kind of like you being on stage. It's like, okay, I got here. And there's a series of things that I did, but I didn't necessarily know the path. I just knew at some point this is where I would be. And I think
Mhm.
when you get very clear on that, you get to be very present in terms of what it is you need to do. And
Yes.
that's where the how shows up, right? The how shows up when you have clarity in terms of where you want to be, because then you get to work and you work on the things that get you there.
I
So,
love
yeah,
that. I
yeah.
love it.
Wow. So
So
powerful this
Vancouver
morning.
for your birthday. Vancouver Ironman
Woo!
birthday. The
Yes, we're going to
association is
Vancouver.
perfect.
Yes, Vancouver is it. So we are at time. I can't believe how quickly
Always.
these things go. But for everybody who listened in this morning, or everybody who's going to be watching the replay, thank you. Just one little quick mention, we do have a copy to the masterclass that we've included now in our links in our comments. So if you are interested in taking your vision to the next step, if it's the next level in terms of where you want to be in your growth, I would highly recommend you watch it. Just check it out. There's really cool exercises in there that are going to change some of the thinking in and around achieving the things that you want and not worried about the how so much. So, all right, everybody. Heather, again, thank you and congratulations. It's such an amazing celebration this weekend for you, and I'm so happy for you.
Awesome. We'll see you on Wednesday.
All right. See everybody Wednesday.